You're checking your investment account. Then you see a number that makes your heart stop. Did you just make $1,200 today? While you were in meetings? You didn't work overtime. You didn't sell anything. You literally did nothing. The money just appeared, and it hits you like a punch to the chest. This is the thing rich people have that you didn't. Not some secret investment. Just scale. But here's what nobody tells you about that moment. It only happens after you cross $100,000. Hi, I'm Fred, and today we are breaking down why the first $100,000 feels like financial hell, and why everything after becomes a wealth-building machine that runs while you sleep. Let me tell you about Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man who built a fortune worth over $2 billion. He had one piece of advice he repeated until people were sick of hearing it. Get to $100,000 by any legal means necessary. And here's why. Think about pushing a snowball at the top of a mountain. The first $100,000? You're hand-packing snow, one freezing handful at a time, trying to build something big enough to roll. It's exhausting, and you're doing all the work yourself. But once that snowball hits $100,000, physics takes over. You give it one push, and gravity does the rest. It rolls downhill, picking up more snow with every rotation, getting bigger and faster. You're not building it anymore. The mountain is building it for you. That's compound interest after 6 figures. Now, let me show you something that's going to blow your mind. Let's say you save $10,000 per year, earning a solid 7% return. Getting to your first $100,000 takes almost 8 years. That's 8 years of grinding, watching your account grow at a pace that feels like a joke. Here's where it gets wild. How long does it take to get from $100,000 to $200,000? You'd think another 8 years, right? Wrong. It takes just over 5 years. That's 35% faster than your first 100 grand. Same effort from you, same $10,000 per year. The only difference? Your first $100,000 is now making serious money on its own. And it only gets crazier from there. Your fifth $100,000 takes less than 1/3 the time your first one did. But here's what most finance content gets dangerously wrong. Quick note, this channel is brand new, and if this information is clicking for you, hit subscribe and smash that like button. It's free for you, but it pushes this video to more people who are grinding paycheck to paycheck instead of investing. All right, back to it. And this might be the most important thing I tell you today. Your first $100,000 is 85% savings and 15% investment returns. Look at the real numbers. If you save $15,000 per year for 6 years with a modest return, you'll hit $105,000. But $89,000 of that came from money you personally saved. Only $16,000 came from your investments. This is where people rage quit their money journey. They invest $5,000, check it every day for 6 months, make $400, and think this is pointless. They're right in the short term, but catastrophically wrong in the long term. And that brings me to something critical you need to understand. You need to play offense and defense at the same time. Offense means attacking your income like your life depends on it. Because right now, it does. Take classes, get certificates, start side hustles, switch jobs when better offers appear. Your goal isn't an extra $50 per month. It's increasing your yearly income by $5,000 or $10,000. That income jump is worth more than any investment return you'll get with 20 grand in the market. Defense means stopping the bleeding. And when I show you these numbers, you're going to realize how much money is slipping through your fingers right now. Research shows the average American can't account for $600 of monthly spending. It just vanishes into restaurants, random purchases, subscription services they forgot existed. Over 5 years, that's $36,000 you could have invested that evaporated into thin air. The money choices you make between ages 25 and 35 determine your entire path. People who start investing at 25 versus 35 retire with 60% more money. Even if the person who started at 35 adds more money annually trying to catch up. Time is your biggest advantage when you're young, and you bleed it away every year you delay. Now, here's something nobody talks about. We live in an instant gratification economy designed to separate you from your money before you can save it. Every app, every ad, every social media post is engineered to make you feel like you're missing out if you're not spending constantly. Your friends are taking trips to Europe, buying new cars, upgrading apartments, posting about it non-stop. You're sitting there with $30,000 saved, wondering if you're doing life wrong. Here's what nobody tells you about those friends. Most millennials carry credit card debt. The average is over $6,000 at nearly 20% interest. They're paying over $1,000 per year just in interest to maintain a lifestyle they can't afford. They're not wealthier than you. They're deeper in a hole. And it gets worse. Americans pay hundreds of thousands in credit card interest over their lives. That's not counting what that money could have become if invested. We're talking about $500,000 in lost wealth because people can't resist buying things they don't need with money they don't have. Every dollar you spend before hitting $100,000 costs you about $10 in future wealth. That car upgrade adding $200 to your monthly payment? You're lighting $24,000 on fire every year. The first $100,000 is a mental test disguised as a money goal. The market is asking, are you serious or just pretending? Most people fail. They give up after a year or two because progress feels too slow. Now, before you rush to dump every dollar into the stock market, there's one thing you need to know. Brain scientists call this present bias. Our tendency to value immediate rewards way more than future rewards. Your brain is wired to choose $50 today over $100 in a year, even though waiting is obviously better. This isn't a character flaw. It's human nature. Building wealth requires overriding that instinct thousands of times over many years. But there's a way around this, and it's simpler than you think. Systems beat willpower every single time. Don't rely on yourself to manually invest money every month. You'll forget, you'll make excuses, you'll convince yourself you'll do it next month. Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from checking to investments on payday. Pay yourself first before you see the money and start daydreaming about what you could buy. Research shows people who automate contributions save 3.5 times more than people who manually decide each month. Automation removes the decision, which removes the chance to fail. Let me give you a metaphor that explains this entire journey. Your first $100,000 is pushing a boulder up a mountain. Slow, painful, sweating, muscles burning, barely seeing progress. Other people drive past in cars, laughing at you for pushing a boulder when vehicles exist. You start questioning if this is worth it. Then you get that boulder to the top, and it starts rolling downhill on its own. You're not pushing anymore. You're steering. The boulder gets bigger as it rolls, picking up speed and size. Within a few years, that boulder is 10 times bigger than when you started, and you're barely touching it. The people who drove past in those cars, they're all broken down on the roadside now with repo notices and maxed credit cards, watching your boulder roll past them, wondering how you got so lucky. It wasn't luck. It was 7 years of pushing when nobody else was willing to. Once you finally break through $100,000, you'll experience something that feels almost unfair. You'll check your account and see you made $800 in a single day from market gains, then $1,000, $200 the next day. Some weeks you make more from investments than from your actual job. That's when it clicks. Your 20-year-old self who ate ramen and skipped vacations wasn't stupid. They were building a machine that now creates wealth automatically. You'll think about friends who mocked you for being cheap. Check their social media and see they're still living paycheck to paycheck at 35, wondering where their money went. There's no hack, no shortcut, no secret the rich are hiding. It's just math plus time plus discipline. Simple doesn't mean easy. Saving for 7 years straight while friends take trips to Bali and buy new cars requires delayed gratification most humans don't have. Most Americans couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. That means the majority of the country is one car repair away from debt. These same people spend $1,000 on concert tickets, restaurants, and clothes without blinking. The issue isn't lack of money. It's that spending money feels better than saving it. If you want to join the tiny group who actually build wealth, accept that you'll spend your 20s and early 30s living differently than everyone around you. Older car, smaller place, skipped expensive trips, saying no to activities you can't afford. Friends will think you're boring. Family might think you're cheap. Random people online will say you're wasting your youth. Ignore all of them. They won't be there when you're 45 with $800,000 in investments, looking at early retirement, traveling without debt, sleeping peacefully knowing money will never be a source of stress again. They'll still be working jobs they hate, living paycheck to paycheck, blaming the economy for problems they created. The journey to $100,000 teaches you more about yourself than almost anything else. You discover whether you have discipline or just good intentions. You learn if you can give up short-term pleasure for long-term gain. You find out if you finish what you start or quit when things get hard. Most people fail this test. The ones who pass don't just become wealthy. They become the type of person capable of achieving difficult things. That trait applies to everything else in life. What is one money decision you wish you had made 5 years earlier? Drop it in the comments because I want to know what you would change if you could go back. If you're still at the beginning of your wealth journey, watch this video next. Because before $100,000, there's a smaller number that completely rewires your brain and changes everything.